Understand, from his point of view, you must stop your behavior.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by PiratesOfSavannahBook.com.
All right, so just giving you kind of a recap of some of the things that went down today. A lot of people came out to court. I would say well over 20 folks, maybe 25. I don't know. I didn't count. I was a little distracted because I was the one that was on trial. And folks came out today to support me and the other activists that were there in court today to be facing trial for trespassing. And I was also facing a couple of other charges as well. So big thanks to everybody that came out for that. And was found guilty on a reduced charge. It was not a misdemeanor charge of trespass that the robed man found us guilty on. It was a violation charge, which conveniently means I don't get the appeal to the jury trial, which is kind of interesting because I thought that if you're being charged with something, I didn't know they could change. I knew they could change it in advance. Like, if they wanted to before the trial, they could, well, we're going to update this charge to a Class B misdemeanor, or we're going to change it to a violation. I knew they could do that. But I didn't know that after you'd already gone through the trial, during the sentencing, that the judge could just go ahead and change it back.
Find you guilty of a lesser charge.
Right. Just change it back to a violation, and then you don't get to have a jury trial as a result of that.
Just do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And, the interesting thing is, according to the section on their own code of criminal trespass, the violation portion, most of the portion about criminal trespass talks about how, it's a misdemeanor if you you don't leave. Oh, excuse me. It could be a felony if you destroy property as well. But they weren't accusing us of that. So he couldn't find us guilty of it being a misdemeanor because the jail guard did a crappy job of notifying everybody that they needed to leave. He didn't do a good job. He yelled it out from several feet away, dozens of feet away, and virtually no one heard it. So the relevant section of the code here for the violation is just one sentence. A person is guilty of criminal trespass if, knowing that he's not licensed or privileged to do so, he enters or remains in any place. So the claim is that I knew that I was not privileged to be in that place.
Well, there's signs about. I mean,
there are signs, but there are also public parking signs. So is it a public area or is it a restricted, secure zone? There are no ways of prohibiting people from getting there. None whatsoever. It's completely wide open. So I had no reason to believe that I couldn't be there.
Right. It is a public parking lot that you can just drive up to. So why couldn't you be there?
That's right. And then there's no.
Well, you can be there as long as you're there for the reasons they want you there for.
Right.
So,
which you're just supposed to know that, apparently.
Yeah.
ESP, I guess.
Yep. So to top that off, then there's this $1,000 fine, which that's really proportional, isn't it? I mean, in the New Hampshire state constitution, it says, I don't remember which article, 18, I think it says in the Bill of Rights that basically that the punishment should be proportional to the crime. And so apparently walking around the jail a couple times on a sunny afternoon is that's $1,000 right there.
Jeez, I wish I made that kind of money at work.
Right, that's 20 plus days in a jail cell apparently.
Well,
that's
he's sentencing
really
you as a habitual offender, essentially. I mean, he's choosing to do that.
He just doesn't like you, Ian. I think that's really what it is.
No, he clearly doesn't. He clearly has.
Yeah, I think you can claim bias, and that's another thing is I don't understand why you didn't put a motion in to change venue.
I don't know, Mark. I don't think about all these things. Yeah. I don't know what all the legal rules are. And
yeah, I probably wouldn't have thought of that. I'm
not a lawyer. Who am I going to motion to? Him?
Well, I've got a ticket, and that's the first thing I'm going to do. Just screw with him. Put in flurry of motions.
Yeah, well, anyway.
You get these things off the internet, cut and paste.
Change a venue to Nuremberg, right?
Yeah. So
See if
that
you
was
get a free trip to Germany.
That was that. So yeah, basically, if this appeal doesn't succeed, which I certainly don't expect it to, because it's their system, and I fully expect their Supreme Court judges to back up their lower court judge.
Yeah, I would expect that too.
Yeah, if it doesn't succeed, then I guess that means I'm going to jail for a month.
I guess it does. I mean, what are the other options?
I could pay up, I suppose.
Yeah, you could do that.
And you know,
and he's not letting you pay to a charity. He's not letting you work.
Which he did in the past.
Right, he did. Well, he doesn't. This isn't working. Understand? From his point of view, you must stop your behavior. You are, you're belligerent to the court, and you're a habitual civil disobedient. He's trying to stop your behavior. So far, letting you pay to, being nice to you and letting you pay to charities and things like that isn't working. So he's going to try something new. I've got to get tough with these guys. So, he's cracking down. I don't have any advice as far as if you do go, make sure you got the technical stuff worked out here on Free Talk Live, because that's going to be important.
So that happened, and then there was also the other trials for no registration, which I actually got that one dismissed. So I had a motion sustained today, and I got one of the charges dismissed. So yeah,
they sentenced you to 25 days in jail. You didn't win anything.
No, it's never a win. It's never a win in court, because you're always just reducing the damage that could be done. And
right, even if you go and win, you have wasted your time dealing with bureaucrats that would like to steal your money and your life from you.
That's right. You've wasted, at the very least, your time, your brain power, trying to concern yourself with how to approach the case, and stress levels. And I hadn't eaten all day. I was in that courtroom until 2 o'clock, and I could barely eat after I got out of there. It was awful.
PiratesOfSavannahBook.com. PiratesOfSavannahBook.com. Pirates of Savannah Book. Ahoy! Ahoy!